Hi folks, this video I have to do a rudimentary overview. I can't go into depth on the topic because it will take hours. So I'm going to leave out a lot, so don't complain about it, okay? There's a gentleman here in the United States who urged me to make this video, and my reaction was, well, I don't know if I feel comfortable making this video because of my limited knowledge on the subject. So now you're saying, hey, that never stopped you from making your other videos. Good point. That's why I'm making this one. The subject happens to be the Balkans in Eastern Europe. The Balkans is on the Adriatic Sea, the other side of the Adriatic from Italy. Historically, the Balkans consisted of approximately 13 ethnic groups. And the people in the Balkans, and if you heard the term the Balkanization, or we don't want to be Balkanized, has a negative connotation here in the United States. But in the Balkans, the people do not identify themselves with the nation state that they happen to be currently living under. They identify with the ethnic group they are a part of. And I would gather the reason for that is because the borders in the Balkans historically have been rather fluid. This nation takes over that nation, this nation takes over this nation, this whole group of people have been forced to migrate somewhere else, empires have rolled in, empires have rolled out. So how are you going to identify with a nation when the nation changes every 50 years or so? So you identify with your ethnic group. But it's not so much the identity with the ethnic group, then they develop something of somewhat animosity towards other ethnic groups in the region. You see, here in the United States, it becomes a little difficult for most Americans to comprehend. And the reason for that is historically in the United States, people with different ethnic groups from all over the world and the universe, Area 51 Martians, have come to the United States and formed something in our melting pot called the American culture. But within the last 30 years, the liberals in this country decided they wanted to Balkanize the United States and instituted something called diversity, by which in America people no longer want to identify themselves as an American citizen as being primary, as their ethnic identity is primary to their American citizenship. And I just swayed from the topic. Get back. All right. Okay. So now we have communism rolls into the Balkans, Eastern Europe. And Yugoslavia was a part of that under Tito. And Yugoslavia consisted of a few of these Balkan regions. Well, in the early 1990s, communism, the evil empire, collapsed, and so did communism in Yugoslavia. As a result, regions broke off of Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia disintegrated into a few other countries. One of those countries was called Serbia. In part of Serbia is a region called Kosovo on the southern border with Albania. Now at this point, Kosovo consisted primarily of ethnic Albanians who were Muslim, whereas Serbia consisted primarily of ethnic Serbians who were Christians. Well, they just didn't get along now. They didn't have the yoke of the oppressive communism to keep the hostilities down. So recently now, Kosovo says, we don't like you Serbians, we're going to form our own independent country of Kosovo. Well, the Serbians said, not so fast. You're still going to be part of Serbia. You're not breaking away. So I said to this fellow, what's the point? You guys don't like one another. Let them go their own way, and you go your own way, and everybody's happy. No more violence, no more hatred. You have two separate countries. Well, he pointed out to me, not so easy, Bachakalope. Back in 1389, there was a battle between the Serbians and the Ottoman Empire, the Turks. And that battle was called the Battle of Kosovo, which is part of Serbia, and the battle was in Kosovo. Well, the Serbians lost the Battle of Kosovo, and as a result, Serbia, including Kosovo, became part of the Ottoman Empire as a vassal state. So that land where that battle took place in 1389 is sacred ground to Serbians because that's where they lost their independence back in 1389. So now if Kosovo is allowed to succeed and form its own country away from Serbia, the Serbians no longer have that battlefield within their country. So it's a source of national pride to keep that battlefield. Much like in the United States. We don't want to lose the World Trade Center site in Lower Manhattan. We do not want to lose Gettysburg. We do not want to lose Yorktown. And we do not want to lose Pearl Harbor. These are sacred grounds, hollow grounds to Americans. So that's what the battlefield of the Battle of Kosovo is to the Serbians. Okay? Listen, I'm not saying who's right. I'm not saying who's wrong. This is just a very brief overview and explanation of a very complex situation and a complex region of the world.
Ha 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 ha!